When people ask me where I'm from, I like to say that I was born in Baxter, California, but which was my parents' residence at the time. We were quite poor, so I got a chance to learn about business early. I had my first paper out when I was 8, and I started working at a grocery store when I was 11. I graduated from high school in 1954, enrolled at Chico State, but I dropped out at the end of the first semester and joined the Air Force. I met a fellow who had worked in the stock market, and I fell in love with that. I became an adult in a really good time for our economy. I also was white, I was a man, and in addition to that, there was a whole generation ahead of me that did not go into that business because of the Depression. So here I was, there was kind of an open track, so I can play the poor boy act, but I had the wind at my back. Would be pretty hard to fail.
Frank started at a number of different firms, and then ultimately in the 80s he was at Jeffries. And typical Frank, he started, pretty low on the food chain, and before you knew it, he was running an entire office. He was running their London operations, and then he came back from London to run the whole firm. Frank jumped in with both feet and both hands, and he basically saved the firm. And today Jeffries is thriving.
Frank Baxter is known for making a difference. And he's done that in the opera, he's done that in the arts, he's done that overseas with his ambassadorship. One of the most impressive things about Frank is that once he commits to something, he is fully in. And he will use his charm and his network and his beautiful brain and beautiful sense of compassion to really help who he's committed to helping.
Although I have Northern California roots, I have really fallen in love with Southern California, with Los Angeles, with the Dodgers. I'm on the board of the Opera, LACMA. I think I'm on 13 nonprofit boards now.
You can't talk to Frank for any period of time without Frank mentioning his love and enthusiasm for education in general and for the Alliance in particular.
Frank was able to take this notion of creating a different kind of public school, one that really showed that exceptional could be the rule for low-income kids who didn't really have a shot. Frank was able, through his leadership and business acumen and philanthropy, to grow the organization from an idea to one school with 150 kids to now 28 schools serving 13,000 low-income scholars all across the city.
There were, I believe, 90 students in our first graduating class. We're now up to 125. I knew that they were all going to college, and I thought to myself, wow, that's unbelievable. I cried because it was something just beyond, my comprehension. And I owe it all to Frank. He's just an amazing individual.
His legacy will be at least 28 schools, who knows where we'll go in the future, and the tens of thousands of kids whose lives he has forever changed, and the communities in Los Angeles that will be forever changed because those youth come back with their college degree and lift up entire communities for multi-generational change.
I think this award is perfect for Frank Baxter, and Frank Baxter is perfect for the award.
Mature ambition is not knowing what you want and how to get it, but it's knowing what you have and how to give it. I'm born selfish, but I think that if I'm being of service, that it's enlightened selfishness, and it feels a lot good, and sometimes I do some good.